and the way art has been created in this, the Piscean age, or this age that we came from. It's the same thing with our spiritual practice. Sometimes, and in fact, most of the time, your spiritual practice is going to feel like a chore. I mean, it's the rare, some of you will have a honeymoon phase. Like if you're new to the practice, you'll have a honeymoon phase of where like, oh my God, I feel like the best I've ever felt. Like it was like that sadhana poem yesterday, like I am in bliss from my sadhana, that lasts like however long it lasts. I hope as long as possible. And then the rest of the time is like, it's life, and life is life. And so the question then becomes, because Yogi Bhajan says you have nothing as a woman if you don't have self-discipleship. So then the question becomes is like, this is an act of self-discipleship, your creativity. Your creativity is something that no one can take away from you. I don't care what you look like, what's going on in your life, how much money you have. Your creativity is it's the commodity that nobody can get a hold of. It's yours forever. It's your legacy. So then, and part of it feeling like a chore, maybe you kind of getting through some of the stuff of your subconscious, and your resistance. But then the question becomes, it's like, you still do it. It's just like a meditation. You still do it because you're creating a new kind of, you're whacking a new path. And why I like the haiku practice is, even now you guys I can tell already the decloggation is happening. That's not a word, but you're declogging some part of you that has not, you haven't written for the joy of writing for I don't know when, definitely pre-college, because most of us if you went to college, you write for not the joy of writing. But what I will say about that as well is, one of the things I think is actually useful about a college education, there's not very much anymore, especially undergrad, is that you get into a practice of writing because you have to write and you write and you write, and that imprints something on you. So that is part of what the kind of daily practice of doing something, and just because you gotta. No means to an end. So there's two parts of what I'm trying to kind of transmit to you. The creating for creativity's sake. So that's the haiku or the whatever. And then, because a lot of people will do that forever and not actually like do something, finish something, bring something into the world. So we're working both ends of that. So then we're also working this kind of more intentional goal, like you are going to have something that you can hold that has your name on it that you have created, and it will change you. But that doesn't mean you're gonna like it. You don't have to like it at all. I mean, like, give yourself permission for that. You don't have to like it ever. I don't think I've liked a sadhana for like 8 years now. You know what I mean? That's not true. I actually really like sadhana. But I'm just saying, there's, there's the moments where it's just like, this is such a chore.
About an hour and a half
in. Yeah. But there's there's something that I'm showing up for more than just, because I like it. And I will say, and I say this, but I'll say it again this way. When you do that, you begin to trust yourself as a creator, as a practitioner, as you start to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, other people start to trust you. So you'll notice that more and more opportunities come your way because you become a very trustable person. And having trust, the self-trust in your aura is something that people notice. It's really noticeable. And you find that with a lot of you actually don't find it necessarily with all artists, because there's still the kind of fear that if I'm not inspired, I won't be able to write that second book or that third album, or, and that's where we're taking the kind of inspiration out of kind of a random thing and putting it into a spiritual act, a daily act. So you just keep showing up. It's good sometimes, it's not so good other times, but that's the kind of spiritual practice of it.